The LG G3 really showcases everything that Samsung missed with its flagship of 2014, the S5, with its useful features especially like laser autofocus. It's really a top-of-the-line phone with some great functionality too, an interesting mix between power, elegance and use. It's pretty obvious though LG are willing to sacrifice a little performance in return for a stunning display, which really is one of the highlights of the device. But do you want your phone to be a good all-round and functional multi-purpose device? Or do you prefer it to be a computing powerhouse built for on the go? If it's the second one, then I'll say already this phone probably isn't for you. Although if all of the advanced features of this phone are pushing your buttons, be sure to stay put and let's see what the LG G3 has got to offer. So one of the features of this phone that is most noted for is the stunning display. It's a 5.5 inch QHD IPS Plus panel, and the G3 was one of the first phones to include Quad HD technology, and I gotta say, to all of those people who said that you can't tell the difference between 1080p and 2K at this already huge pixel density, well, you kinda can. And I'm not certain this isn't because the G3's display is extremely bright, but I am comparing it here to my daily drive via the OnePlus One. But despite this, it's super sharp, crisp, and honestly it looks fabulous. On the other hand though, we know that with more pixels comes a need for bigger batteries and more power. Here though, it's mainly the performance element of this that the display is hindering, because the G3 of course has the ability to remove and replace its battery. Another one of the G3's best features is its camera. I mentioned earlier that the laser autofocus is surprisingly good and very useful. It doesn't just save time, but it also seems to work pretty much every time. There's also a mode where you can have the camera focus onto everything in the foreground and background, so that you can choose where to refocus later. So much for HTC's ultra pixel and their dual camera nonsense from a nonetheless great M8. So the camera shoots 4K UHD at 30fps, 1080p at 60fps and 720p at 120 for your great slow motion video. Also, it's a 13 megapixel shooter, so your stills are still at 4160 by 3120, which is great. And LG also included their little OIS Plus technology, which is basically just an improvement over standard optical image stabilization found in a lot of higher end phones. And as for the front camera, it's nothing special, just simply a 2.1 megapixel cam shooting up to 1080p at just 30fps. In terms of low light performance, you can judge for yourself, although we thought it seemed to expose the slightly cooler colours that the camera produced, and the auto ISO, just no. So what else about this phone makes you just want to snap it up? Well, quite a lot, most notably some of its unique features like rear buttons, which surprisingly you get used to really fast. Also, you've got a built-in IR blaster, unlike a lot of smartphones these days. Settings are included for thousands of devices and you can also teach it new remotes too. So that's everything you should consider when buying this phone, against buying something else. But lastly, this is a phone, so let's just take a minute to see how the call quality was. It sounds absolutely terrible.
Does it?
No.
Really?
Well,
Okay.
it's a bit tinny, to be honest.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, on my end, it sounds a tiny bit muffled.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
not really sharp and clear.
Yeah, yours does sound a bit muffled as well.
I'm not sure if it's just the network or anything, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm on full bars. What about you?
Same.
Alright
When
then.
we were in the train and you called me on the OnePlus One, it was much clearer than this.
Alright then. Bye bye.
By far.
So, as you can see, it's nothing unbearable even when you're calling over 2G like we were there. In the end though, this phone is a solid choice for those pixel lovers out there, although the performance impact is a lot. Let us know in the comments what your personal opinion is. Also be sure to leave a rating, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.